So go figure.
Now, that's a really interesting point, because you have said that part of the reason for the success at 9 was that you picked the right people and you nurtured them. How do you pick the right person?
It's credibility, it's likability, it's warmth, it's their ability to relax. If they look uncomfortable, you don't trust them. That's the great thing about Sunrise, is what we've got on Sunrise is Mel and Koshi. Very familiar names. She is absolutely delightful, comfortable, trustworthy, the sort of woman you'd go and tell your troubles to and like. And he is a bit of a naughty boy, but colourful and totally relaxed, uninhibited. And together they make a great team, and there's something quite ordinary about them. They are exceptional in one way, their success is exceptional, but as individuals they're actually quite ordinary, very human.
And that's what Australians like.
You do. You don't like people who appear to be sitting there, po-faced, over-made up, with brooms rammed up a certain part of their anatomy.
Like who, for example?
Well, I don't want to go down that track.
Are good looks important?
Good looks are a factor. Extreme good looks can be a problem because, people tend to concentrate on the appearance, particularly women, I should say, and they'll say, oh, she shouldn't wear green, or I don't like a hair like that and all the rest of it, or she's too thin. And this becomes the primary preoccupation. One of the things that has changed in television is, back in the old days, you'd be flat out finding a female presenter in her 30s. Now I'm writing 50th birthday cards this week for women on television. And then I'll be writing, no, I won't be around, but someone will be writing 60th birthday cards. So we have come a little way. And, by the way, some of our most popular presenters at Channel 7 are women in their 50s. One in particular in Perth. Which probably hate me for giving an age away, but never mind.
When we look back over your career, over the past 30-odd years now...
Odd's the right word, yeah.
When you look ahead at the future of television, knowing that the landscape is about to change, not just through technology, but also because of the cross-media ownership legislation, how do you view it?
I'm pretty optimistic. I don't think it'll be the same as it's been in the past. I think the future for drama is limited, particularly if we get more and more licences, because the audiences will inevitably shrink and drama is very expensive. On the other hand, there are a number of beacons of hope in shows that are being done at the moment, so-called reality shows. I mean, I'm talking about real reality shows here, not contrivance. Shows like Border Security and RPA at 9. I think my proudest achievement as a producer was starting RPA, a completely atypical commercial television show. That's not my biggest achievement.
What
it's
is
the one I
about
take
it?
most joy in it. I just like the fact that it's very personal. It's even intrusive, but the audience feel they have a right to be there.
To what do you attribute your longevity?
I think my instincts are okay. Nothing out of the box. And there's a guy who told me once, he said, my two great strengths as a journalist, this is Don Hewitt who started CBS 60 Minutes, my two great attributes as a journalist are that I have a short attention span and that I'm not frightened to hire people who are smarter than I am. It's not a bad recipe.
And that was former Channel 9 and now Channel 7 news executive Peter Meakin. My guest next week on Sunday Profile is Australia's heir apparent, the Treasurer, Peter Costello. I'm Julia Baird. Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to read a transcript or listen to the program again, you'll find us at abc.net.au/Sunday Profile. And while you're there, why don't you go to our guest book? Drop us a note, tell us what you thought, give us some feedback. We're always keen to hear from you. Coming up next, Karen Durante with Speaking Out. Talk to you next week.
Speaking of missing people, do you miss some of your political opponents? For example, Neville Wran.
Oh, I don't miss him much. I would have liked him to have stayed around for the election so I could have beaten him, but we're actually on good terms now.
What's Nifty doing now?
He's making a lot of money.
Doing what?
Collecting garbage. He's collecting garbage from around here, and I think he's running a bank, as a matter of fact. And I think it's one of the banks that's still making some money.
Mm-hmm. Do you have your money in a building society ever?
Yes. Haven't got much money. We don't pay premiers much. But,
Which building society, just as a matter of interest?
St George.
Any problems with that?
No. New South Wales is not like Victoria, Steve. I know it's hard for you to really grasp that, but the building...
What do you think about Joan Kerner, the new Victorian Premier?
Well, I guess if I had a choice of having a nickname of Madam Russia, Miss Piggy, or Barry Unsworth in skirts, which are the three that she seems to have been given, I'd be pretty despondent when I started the job. I think she's got an immensely difficult task, and I wish Victoria luck.
What's the difference between the paths that have led to New South Wales being, well, solvent, and Victoria being on the verge of bankruptcy?
I think in simple terms, they took all the soft options, all the shortcuts. They said, we're going to be good blokes, we're not going to put up any prices for 4 or 5 years. That's a great way to make a big man of yourself. It's probably a good way of getting elected for a while. But of course, if your costs keep going up and your prices don't, you go broke. It's no different to running the corner store or running the family budget. If the family budget goes like that, it goes broke too. So I think the real difference is we decided to take the hard decisions early. John Cain decided that he could do it all with mirrors, and you can't.
Do you get a lot of letters from women?
My wife seems to get a lot of letters from women complaining or praising my prowess and my attraction, but no, I don't get too many letters.
Do you have any girlfriends?
Oh, yes, my wife, my daughter, secretaries, any number of them.
Who opens your mail?
Not me. Not me.
Does Catherine open the mail?
Catherine gets some mail at home, and we get an amazing amount of mail at home. Some complimentary, some not too good. But I think on balance, the mail is not quite as glamorous and as sexy as one of the local papers suggested a while ago. I think Catherine might have been trying to build up my reputation.
Your daughter's in the audience tonight, isn't she?
Oh, so's Catherine, just over there.
Oh, whereabouts?
It's behind the pillar. You can't quite see her.
Can we get a shot of Catherine? And what's your daughter's name?
Cara.
Cara. Let's hear it for Cara and Catherine.
Cara, that's Catherine.
What do you think is your greatest achievement so far?
I think trying to fix the mess that I inherited. I mean, basically, if we'd gone on the way we were going, we would have ended up like Victoria is now, and I think that's the greatest single achievement. I think the second one, perhaps surprisingly, is to try and do something about the sort of climate of corruption that there was always around in New South Wales. And we set up a tough body, and it's come back in some ways to bite us, but at least we've now got an institution that says no one's above the law, no one's above being accountable. And I think those two things, I think financial management and trying to get a bit of honesty back into the way the state's run.
Do you fly economy?
I do now.
Does everyone?
Everyone's going to from now on. I mean,
from when on?
From when I wrote a letter about 3 days ago.
Right.
But, I think that if you're going to ask everyone else to tighten their belts and be more efficient, work harder, there's no particular reason why public servants or politicians ought to fly first class.
Could you go swimming at Bondi?
Yes. But from next year, when you come up and do the show again for 2 weeks, you'll be able to go swimming at Bondi and the water will be clean.
Oh,
we're actually getting something done
that?
about it. Well, we're spending a lot of money, a lot of the people's money. I mean, it's easy. You can have any sort of water you like off Bondi, as clean as you like, as long as you're prepared to pay to clean it up. And we took the decision for the first time in 50 years that we ought to be prepared to use the technology that's around, put in the money, and we're docking $80 off onto everyone's sewerage bill, water and sewerage bill, and we're putting all of that into cleaning up the beaches, and they'll be clean.